guys, it's Nasim here. Now the Pixel 7 series has completely redeemed itself and is considered one of the top phones of 2022. And because of this, many of us have been concerned as to whether or not we should get the Pixel 7 Pro or the Pixel 7. And in this video, I wanted to break down what each phone is good at based on various stages of use so that you guys can get an idea of which phone is actually better in terms of value. Now the Pixel 7 Pro and Pixel 7 are two phones that have damn near perfected their craft. They have an insanely powerful chip that can handle any app that you throw at it. They have amazing displays that can give you an amazing visual experience. They have good batteries that can not only last you all day, but can also learn your usage and get better the more you use it. And most importantly, both of these phones have a cheaper price than their competitors, meaning that you'll get a better value overall. Even looking at them from an individual standpoint, the Pixel 7 is a very premium phone that has a lot to offer in terms of hardware, features, and overall usability, all while costing $600. And the Pixel 7 Pro is a top-of-the-line Pixel flagship that was here not only to compete, but to solidify Google's persona as a top-tier flagship making machine. And not only was it top tier, but it came at a slightly cheaper price, only costing $900. So even though both of these phones came with a lot of anticipation, I think that so far they have held up very well, and no matter what phone you end up choosing, you'll be very happy with your decision. So I will be comparing the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro based on 5 different categories, starting with display, software, battery, speakers, and last but not least, cameras. Now the Pixel 7 Pro has a 6.7-inch LTPO OLED display, and the Pixel 7 has a 6.4-inch LTPO AMOLED display that are very similar in comparison when it comes to the overall feel of them. Even when we look at the refresh rate of each phone, the 120Hz on the 7 Pro didn't really feel that much smoother than the 7's 90Hz. So as far as overall smoothness, I would say that the 7 Pro had a slight edge, but I enjoyed it damn near as much as the 7. Now when it comes to responsiveness, the 7 Pro and 7 were pretty much the same. Both phones responded very well to everything that I pressed. The 7 Pro felt a tiny bit quicker, but it's not that big of a deal if I'm being honest. Now when it comes to size of both displays, I can't really give a true winner to this one because size is based on preference. Some people think 6.7 inches is too big, and some people think 6.4 inches is too small, but I will say that in terms of viewing experience, I preferred the 7 Pro since I got much more screen real estate, and even when some of the video was cut out, it still showed more than the regular 7. I pretty much had the same opinion when it came to brightness. The 7 Pro was slightly brighter, especially when I was outside and wanted to be on my phone, and there were many times where I would take out my 7 Pro because it made it easier being outside. Now one thing that I will say is that the 7 Pro had a high quality screen when you put both of these phones side by side. The whites were brighter and more white, colors were the same, and the 7 Pro was a tiny bit sharper, but I had to look really hard to notice it. Now one thing that I really liked about both the 7 and 7 Pro's display was the fact that they had really great resolutions. Both phones had nice and vibrant colors, both phones had sharp displays, and both phones gave me an overall great experience. So I would say that in terms of resolution when watching videos, the 7 Pro was slightly better. And to give you guys an idea of my experience with each phone, here's some examples of me playing games and watching videos.
Slow start for the Rockets, but they're starting to get it going now. Threes and three.
Now when it came to software, I would say that both the 7 and 7 Pro did really good, which is already a huge improvement over last year, but besides the bugs, the software felt very identical to the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. The 7 was able to handle the software a little bit smoother than the 7 Pro. The animations on the 7 Pro were a little bit better, but the 7 held its own really well. I would still get lags here and there whenever the phone was hot, but it was much less often. But besides that, I can honestly say that both the 7 and 7 Pro rarely gave me any problems. Now when it comes to the software running heavier apps, the 7 Pro handled it better with less lags. The 7 would get minor lags whenever I crashed my car in Asphalt 9 and will become a little bit more choppy when there were more animations. Speech to text on both phones were as sharp as ever, and thanks to Google Assistant, I will use it more often than any other phone. But when comparing both phones with Google Assistant, they were pretty much the same in speed and accuracy. Customization was pretty much the same. You're still able to do as much as you can do on both phones, so if you're someone who likes to customize your phone, both phones will do the same thing. Now the battery on the Pixel 7 Pro was much better for me when I was using both phones on a day-to-day basis. The 7 Pro was able to last me all day with about 6 to 7 hours of on-screen time, and my Pixel 7 will last me towards the end of the day as well, but I will have to use it less to get to that point, which means I was only getting 4 to 5 hours. With the 7 Pro, I went in my days with about 15% battery, which was solid, and with the regular 7, the battery will be on 10%, which was still good. Also, I didn't really use power saving mode for this test, so the 7 Pro was much better when it comes to pure performance. Now, when it came to charging speeds, both the 7 and 7 Pro were pretty much the same. The fast charging did okay. I'll usually charge them overnight, but whenever I charge them during the day, after 30 minutes, they usually be on like 70%. So overall, I will say that the battery on both phones were really good. And if you're someone who's looking to get the 7 or the 7 Pro, then both phones will last you all day if you monitor your usage properly. Now, when it came to bass, I would say that the 7 Pro speakers were slightly better. It made listening to songs a bit more enjoyable. The Pixel 7 was still pretty good, especially when compared to the Pixel 7 Pro, but the 7 Pro was much louder and more high quality. The sound quality on both of them were really good. The bass honestly wasn't that great. Music sounded nice, videos were loud and clear, and both speakers overall enhanced my viewing experience because they were just that good. And to give you guys an idea of how both the speakers sound, I'm going to play a video so that you can see how loud they are. Now, the cameras on the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro were pretty much the same. Both have a 50 megapixel main camera, backed by a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. The 7 Pro has a 48 megapixel telephoto, but I still wanted to show you how each of them did. And when we look at these daytime outside photos, we can see that this is where the cameras were able to shine. My selfies were surprisingly good, the accuracy was on point, and the resolution was mildly sharp. We can see that the cameras again were able to shine with good lighting. The sharpness wasn't always there, but was still acceptable. My skin tone looked great, and objects look really good. And when it came to video quality, both had one of the best to offer. And to give you guys an example, here's some videos that I took on it. So here's the final question. Is the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro worth the $300 difference? Well, if I'm being honest, I would say no, because there were no crazy advantages that the 7 Pro had over the 7. It's better because it's supposed to be, but the 7 is so good and the 7 Pro is not $300 better in no way, shape, or form. And there it is, my comparison between the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 7. Now let me know down in the comments, do you guys think that the 7 Pro is worth the difference? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for sticking around, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it'll be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.